Greetings, YouTube. Someone just asked me a question about what my best and worst gameplay moments were. And I'm going to speak about this from the point of view of GMing. The scenes that I remember as being really great, and the one time I remember as being one of the worst GMs that's ever lived. So we'll do the bad one first and get it out of the way. I was running a campaign, and it came to this rather climactic... you have to ignore the cat, she's sitting on my keyboard. Rather climactic battle with a major dragon. And they had prepped for it, they were ready. They even had access to a really kind of nasty predator type. Cat moving. Predator type that they had essentially polymorphed into a harmless form, and they were going to toss it in and unpolymorph it and, use it as a means of softening up the dragon, if you will. So they throw this thing in, they cast their initial salvo of spells and weapons and such, and the battle ensues. And the dragon, being a really rather colossal dragon, grabs this big nasty predator, picks it up and just shakes it like a dog, and just throws it away. And it lands on one of the PCs. That's not bad. It was dramatic, it was, dynamic, it was great, nice little scene element, no problem. And I have no idea why I did this, but I made the guy make a saving throw to get up from under it, or something like that, a strength check or something, I can't remember like that. And he failed it, and he failed it, and he failed it. So while this battle is raging on, this battle where they've been building up to this thing for months, one of the players who had been there every session, who had put in his effort to get to this point, had his ass stuck underneath this essential fuzzy-looking dinosaur. In retrospect, it was my darkest, dumbest moment. I don't know why I did it. It was horrible. And if I could find the guy, I would apologize. It was not a good moment. Now, for one of my better moments, it was a campaign where they had been sucked into a pocket universe. They weren't aware they were in a pocket universe, but they were. Essentially, the veil between their world and this world had grown thin. They wandered into it, and they were now stuck. They didn't know they were stuck. And they had to basically solve a mystery to get the universe to dissolve and release them. And the mystery was to find a lost composer, the world's greatest composer, and help him finish his last piece. And as they're slowly putting these things together, these little tidbits and clues, they encounter him. The problem is he's dead. And he's been dead for a really long time. But he's been wandering from place to place, trying to figure out how to fix his composition, how to finish his piece, so he can then go to rest. So he doesn't know he's dead. He's completely oblivious to this fact. He just knows he can't finish it. So I used to tend to walk around a lot when I GM'd. I'd get up, I'd walk back and forth. Sometimes because I had maps and things on the walls, sometimes because I get tired of sitting down. Believe it or not, I actually don't sit all the time. And I would do this. And then, as I'm walking back and forth, I slipped completely into character. I become the composer. And I turned to this wall, which tipped them off. Something wasn't right. I don't normally go into a corner. And when I came back, I was an insane, undead composer. And I started speaking just like him. Like he's like, it's wrong. I can't think. Just. But only one person at the table picked it up right away. Everybody else at that table thought I had just had a psychotic break. That I had just gone off the deep end and it was not coming back. The scene played out. Eventually, they all started to pick up what was going on. They got the last clue. Then they went on to finish their quest, which was go into a huge tower and then basically disable a machine that this man had created, which would snap his creative block and then let him finish the piece, and he could pass on. And they succeeded along the way, doing adventuring and defeating traps and undead that didn't want him to go away because the undead had been using him as a bait to get people to come in and be their victims. So, you know, there's a couple of multiple layers going on there. But just the looks on my players' faces as they really thought I was insane. That was a great moment, man. That was just beautiful.